Why Otto Hightower betrayed Rhaenyra by crowning Aegon II in secret. Welcome to the channel. Subscribe if you love House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones, and deep dives into Westerosi lore. Let's begin. Imagine this: King Viserys I is dead. The Iron Throne stands cold and silent in the Red Keep. The king's body hasn't even been properly mourned, yet in the shadows of King's Landing, whispers are spreading like wildfire. Instead of proclaiming Princess Rhaenyra, the woman Viserys had named as his heir, Otto Hightower, the Hand of the King, is plotting a dangerous secret. Behind closed doors, the lords of the realm are being summoned. Doors are barred, words are hushed, and a single name is spoken over and over again: Aegon. Not Rhaenyra, not the rightful heir, but Aegon, son of Alicent Hightower. Why? Why would Otto, a man who had served the realm for decades, a man who watched Viserys name Rhaenyra heir before the entire court, suddenly betray her at the most crucial moment? What drove him to crown Aegon II in secret, risking civil war, dragonfire, and the wrath of half the realm? The answer lies in a storm of ambition, fear, political survival, and family pride. To understand Otto's betrayal, we must peel back the layers of his cunning strategy. Because Otto Hightower's decision was not made in haste. It was years in the making, a slow, careful plot rooted in duty, dynasty, and personal vendetta. Tonight, we dive deep into the mind of Otto Hightower. We'll uncover why he turned his back on Rhaenyra, how he orchestrated the coronation of Aegon II, and why this single act of treachery unleashed the bloody civil war known as the Dance of the Dragons. Stay with me, because by the end, you'll see that Otto's betrayal wasn't just about crowns or thrones. It was about survival, legacy, and the ruthless game of power where only one family could stand victorious. To understand Otto's betrayal, we must first revisit the promise made by King Viserys. In a realm where no woman had ever ruled, Viserys broke tradition. After the death of his first wife and son, he shocked the realm by naming his daughter Rhaenyra as heir. The announcement wasn't made in whispers. It wasn't hidden in some dusty scroll. It was declared in the Great Hall before the lords of Westeros. They bent the knee. They swore oaths. Otto Hightower himself was there when those vows were made. But here's the catch: oaths in Westeros are fragile. They bend when power shifts. And for Otto, who had already placed his daughter Alicent in the king's bed, Rhaenyra's claim was a direct threat to his own bloodline. Because what did Rhaenyra's succession mean for House Hightower? It meant Alicent's children, Aegon, Helaena, Aemond, and Daeron, would always live in the shadow of Rhaenyra's reign. At best, they would serve her. At worst, they would be seen as rivals and threats, vulnerable to plots and assassination. Otto saw what others ignored. If Rhaenyra took the throne, Alicent's children would never be safe. Westeros had never accepted a queen before. The second Rhaenyra faltered, voices would rise calling for Aegon. And in Otto's mind, the only way to protect his blood was to crown his grandson first, before anyone else could act. So even as Viserys clung stubbornly to his decision, Otto's betrayal was already germinating like a seed. He smiled at court, bowed his head, and played the role of loyal hand. But in his heart, he was already plotting the downfall of Rhaenyra. Otto wasn't just ambitious, he was calculating. He understood the realm better than most. He knew how lords thought, how armies marched, and how fragile peace truly was. The truth was simple: many of the great houses of Westeros were uneasy about Rhaenyra. Not because she lacked the ability to rule, she had the wit, the will, and most importantly, the blood of the dragon. But because she was a woman. Tradition ran deep, and the thought of a queen regnant unsettled half the realm. Otto weaponized that fear. He told himself that crowning Aegon wasn't rebellion, it was stability. If Rhaenyra ascended, the realm would fracture. Some houses would support her, others would call for Aegon, and war would be inevitable. But if Aegon was crowned swiftly, in secret, before word even spread of Viserys's death, then hesitation would die in silence. It was a gamble. Crown Aegon before Rhaenyra could rally her allies on Dragonstone. Present the lords with a fait accompli. By the time Rhaenyra heard the news, it would be too late. To Otto, it wasn't betrayal, it was preemptive strategy. He believed he was saving Westeros from chaos. But in truth, his fear of division created the very war he sought to prevent. Now let's talk about Otto himself. Otto Hightower was not a man who lived for glory on the battlefield. He wasn't a knight, a conqueror, or a dragon rider. His weapon was his mind. His battlefield was the council chamber. And his prize was influence over the Iron Throne. For decades, he had served as hand of the king, first under Jaehaerys, then under Viserys. He had placed his daughter Alicent into Viserys's bed, securing his bloodline in the line of succession. For Otto, this was not just politics, it was legacy. Think of it. A second son of House Hightower, rising from Aldtown, had maneuvered his family into the heart of power. If Aegon became king, Otto wouldn't just be hand, he would be kingmaker. His grandchildren would sit on the throne. House Hightower's name would be forever etched into history, alongside Targaryen dragonlords. So when Viserys stubbornly clung to Rhaenyra, Otto felt cheated. He had sacrificed, schemed, and waited, only to watch the king elevate a daughter who married a Velaryon, not a Hightower. In Otto's mind, crowning Aegon wasn't betrayal, it was justice. It was the culmination of years of careful planning. He couldn't let Rhaenyra steal that future away. The betrayal itself was not loud. It was not dramatic. It was a whisper turned into a storm. The moment Viserys died, Alicent went to her father. She told him what she had heard in the king's final moments, that Viserys had spoken Aegon's name, believing he was passing on Aegon the Conqueror's dream. Whether Viserys truly meant it or whether Alicent misheard, Otto seized it as his weapon. He gathered the Green Council in secret. Lords Larys Strong, Esser Criston Cole, and others sat in that chamber while Viserys's body still grew cold. And Otto made his move. The doors were barred. Those who protested were silenced. Some lords were imprisoned. Some never left alive. Otto forced the lords of the court to bend the knee to Aegon. Why the secrecy? Because speed was everything. Otto knew that if Rhaenyra discovered Viserys's death before Aegon was crowned, she could rally her supporters, summon her dragons, and march on King's Landing. So he locked the city down. Messengers were silenced. Ships were watched. Ravens were stopped. This was not just betrayal, it was a coup. The most infamous act was the secret coronation itself. In the dragon pit, Aegon was crowned before a crowd, the golden dragon banner unfurled, the trumpets blaring. Esser Criston Cole placed the conqueror's crown upon his head. The people of King's Landing were given no choice but to cheer. By the time word reached Rhaenyra on Dragonstone, Aegon was already king. Otto had done it. He had stolen the throne from under her nose. Now we come to the heart of it. Why was this considered betrayal? Because Otto had sworn oaths. He had watched the lords of the realm swear fealty to Rhaenyra. He had served a king who declared her heir in public, not once, but repeatedly. He knew the will of Viserys, and yet he spat upon it. Otto justified his actions by claiming Viserys's dying words proved otherwise. But deep down, he knew the truth. He acted not out of loyalty to the crown, but loyalty to his own blood. It was betrayal because he placed ambition above honor. It was betrayal because he ignited the very war he claimed he wanted to prevent. And it was betrayal because he condemned thousands to die in dragonfire, simply to put his grandson on the throne. Otto's betrayal didn't secure peace, it shattered it. Rhaenyra, upon hearing of Aegon's coronation, was furious. On Dragonstone, she was crowned in defiance,